Hey guys, this is DJ with another video in a series on Power Aura setups for a Demon Hunter. We're going to get into, in this video, showing buffs and how to present them better than they are up here. So here's a buff, want for nothing, 283 mastery increase. Here's the target that we want to get to. You can see that I've got little blocks of buff. These are sort of broken up by what ability they buff, so you can kind of see if you've got a lot of mastery going right now or a lot of haste going right now. You kind of know that that would be a good time to blow your cooldowns and lean into lots of stuff that's good. These are the fainted out versions of them. You see we don't really actually have any of those buffs live right now, but that's kind of the layout, faintness. We're going to one up it though. We're going to include a little label over so we don't have to kind of, so it's a little clearer what they are. So let's do that. Bring a Power Aura. I'm just gonna, I guess so faint. I'm just gonna go with this guy, and I'm going to copy it to the buffs one. Just start with one that already exists. Let's move it down. Let's move it over. Move it up. Let's get this guy over here so we can test all, see where it is in relation to other things. And I'm going to just change its type to a text aura and type the word crit here. We could do critical strike. Sure, why not? I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, it's fine, faint. Let's see how that reads so far. Okay, it's not reading because it is... Okay, so this thing is available now, so let's use it. Invalid target. So it's not good that it's actually tied to an ability. So let's do this. I'm gonna give it an absurd condition. I'm gonna make it show up when it is equal to 11, which is to say it will never be up. And then I'm going to invert it, its logic, so that it will always be up. Okay, cool. So now it's same name as this, but that's a little confusing when you're editing it. But so now this label critical strike is always there. So let's do that for the other couple of them. Haste is next. And let's just dupe it 4 times. We're going to call this one haste. Move it over. This guy's mastery. This guy's versatility. Okay, and we will just move them over. Versatility, mastery. It may seem a little busy having those up all the time. You could just lower them to their first initial to diminish it a little more. Let's leave them like that. Okay, now let's get an actual buff going. So let's go to shifted. Let's just go to primary spells. Sure, let's just take this guy, copy it over to buff. We want the active and inactive versions of them. Test all. Let's edit these guys, move it up. Okay. So the first one we're going to do is a mastery based one. So let's just kind of put it over here under the mastery header. Great. 90 and 155. Let's make these kind of tiny. 12. A little little higher. Oopsie. Okay. So there we go. So 1290, 160. Copy this information over. 1290, 160. Good. So we've got the faint and dominant versions of these up. Okay, so here's where it is a little different. These are not usable actions. These are buffs. So we're going to switch this to buff. And it's not really a stack. I'm just going to kill the condition. Let's see what we get. Let's attack. So let's bring it up one more time so that so there's no ability in here now, so it's not king off of anything really anymore, because throw glaive is an ability. It as a buff is not registering anything. So let's just cast some spells. Okay, so here we go. Momentum damage increased by 15. So there's another label we probably need. So let's do that. So let's copy, edit, call this damage, move it over. Really, let's just kind of center these a little bit. Let's put haste right in the middle. Or sorry, mastery in the middle. Haste left of there. Versatility right of there. Oh, wrong one. Damage next to that. Crit. And when I get these going too, sometimes I'll have them increase in weight, size, opacity, whatever, by how big their effect is. So if it's a little tiny thing or one that like stacks up, I'll have it, get stronger or bigger, whatever, pulse, whatever you want to make it more prominent. Okay, so this first one, so now it's a little dumb. We've got these kind of poorly ordered. There's not really a good way to reorder these, so I'm just gonna take this guy, copy it again, even though it's in a busted state right now, and delete these two just to get it ordered well. Okay, so here we go. Want for nothing. Alright, let's see if that registers. Nope. Want for, I don't know if it's case sensitive. Okay, well there it is. Good. So it's up. Okay, cool. And now it's faint. We could, if we wanted to go ham, put the actual number that it buffs you up there. Why not? Let's do it. Copy it again. So this is now the active one. Changed to a text aura. And then 239. Lowered slightly. Let's make it faint. We don't need to really like super register that. Okay, let's see it come up again, and then we'll look for another buff. So these, as you change gears, these are gonna flop around a lot, especially early expansion. So you can skip this bit until you start to at least flush out your gear with dungeons in the first raid. Okay, 239. Okay, so now we've got momentum damage by 15%. Let's copy this guy. Get it with the right name. Let's rename this 15%. And test all. Let's shove this under the damage header. Great. 225. Oops. Okay. I think it is my Fell Rush that causes that to occur. There we go, 15% damage. I want to see the label less and the writing a little more. So let's do that. Let's up the opacity of these guys from 20, 19 to 30 on that one, 30 on this guy. Let's lower the opacity of these guys a little bit. Let's take them down to 30. There's some stuff that is like you kind of are just training your brain to understand, and you don't need to like actively communicate like which these sections are. So it should be, this should be more or less invisible to you. I'm still sort of taking in those labels. So I'm going to diminish it a little bit more. Let's go down to 20%. I want to be able to like focus on it and see what it says when I care to like, you know, train myself for what these buffs are that are going on, but I want it to be more or less invisible and my brain to filter it out. So that's good. They could go slightly lower even. Okay, I want these buffs to be a little stronger when they are live. I do want those like feeding into my brain. It's already 85%, huh? All right, let's go up to 100. No, 95. A little hint of transparency I think is good. So if there's something subtle going on behind it, let's crank up these numbers a little more. I'm going to take them up to 40. Okay, there's my 15% damage. It is live. That's going to make me want to use Fell Rush more. I don't think I've ever realized that that is a thing. Okay, there's my 239 versatility, which I don't even remember what versatility does entirely. Increases damage done and healing, so that's good. Mastery increases chaos damage and movement. Crit, that's kind of obvious. Yeah, mastery and versatility always kind of confuse me. Crit is obvious. Haste is obvious. Those are the two. So versatility is just damage. Mastery is chaos. I guess like the. Do these say like chaos damage? Fire. Demonic glaive. Anyway, so that's the basic setup. Just as you go and start getting gear and talenting and all that, and you start to see one. Oh, I saw one very briefly. I'm just gonna like spam lots of everything. Okay, here we go. Darkness. And okay, so I might want another one that's like defensive. I think I did that in this case over here. Like if I've got a bubble up, the shield, which I think I also represented with this green circle to communicate that I am protected. Um, and then there's some other protection ones. So I kind of put those in a separate section. This is sort of offense buffs. So now let's make a little bit for defense. So this here we have blur, increase your chance to dodge by 50%, reduces all damage by 35%. All right. So let's make another one. So since we already have blur as a thing, yeah, I'll just derive from this guy since it's already kind of set up well. I could move these to another page. Okay. Blur. 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 Okay, it did not register them. Let's trigger it. Okay, now it has. Okay, so these guys. Ah, it was behind that other one. Okay, so let's go over, down, and I could position them kind of like layout wise, like they are buttoned, so I kind of feel like I'm pressing them. That might be useful. Let's do that before I just did them in a row. Let's communicate protection stuff layout wise. Okay, so blur. So this does dodge 50, damage 35. And then, you don't really need to get that explicit with everything. I'd never have added the labels like this before, but I don't know. Let's go with it. Let's get this guy into position. So this is negative 195, negative 15, negative 195, negative 15. Negative 195. Let's narrow the text DDG. Dodge 50. Let's make it a little smaller. So it's as small as it goes. I'm going to copy it one more time. Lower it slightly. Damage. Negative 35%. And that'll only show up when it's live, like right now. Whoa. Got a little too much going on there. Let's see what's up with that. Okay, so that one, it's that and that. Wonder why it doubled up. That's interesting. Maybe that was a bug. Give it a minute. Okay, 7. All right, there we go. Let's get him a little tighter. I thought I might shift that a little bit too, but yeah, that's fine. Okay, next one. So that's dodge and damage reduction. Okay. Slip into another, increasing movement and becoming immune to damage but unable to talk. Or unable to attack. Okay, so let's make this just next to this guy. This one doesn't need labels. Netherwalk. See if I got that right. Yeah. Okay, let's move it over a little bit. So what do I do? 160. Okay. And then darkness. Summon darkness around you, granting friendly targets a 20% chance to avoid all damage from an attack. That's weird, and then it doesn't really affect me at all. So you probably want to pop both of these together to protect you and them, I suppose. All right, let's do that, and we'll just put it above this guy. So we don't need a label. Oops, I just stuck that. Do anything there? No. Okay. All right, this guy is called Darkness. Alrighty. Yay, my friends are so happy. Attacks against you have 20% chance of inflicting no damage. Okay, so it's you and them. So that's good. All right, let's raise it up. So that's functionally dodging. Let's test all higher. So what did I use? Let's go 20. 20, and I do want to give this one a label. So this is Darkness. Dodge plus 20. Let's move it slightly over. Okay. So it kind of helps me to connect. It's like, lots of icons. You don't entirely wrap your head around it's like whenever I need Featherfall, I'm like looking around my damn UI, like which icon looks like Featherfall? I don't remember. So here it's helping you sort of connect back, like this guy and this guy are both here, although this one is on the other side of it. And did I shift that around? Oh no. Okay. So down here it is left, but really this guy ought to be on here because in my Tartarus layout, these guys are on 7 and 8. 7 and 8. 7 shifted 7 and 8. So this guy should get moved over. Let's do that. -230. -230. Okay, so I've got buffs, I've got safety buffs, and then one last thing, I'm going to use this area on the right. So I'm kind of quadranting off communication so that my eyes can the general communication that I want happening is we haven't got to animation or highlighting yet, but I want a nice periphery read of like what buttons are available, and more importantly, what button should I click now? We'll get to that in future videos, but that's sort of the primacy is in that. 2 is when an interrupt needs to happen. It's just like look up, there it is, smash that one. Yeah, I didn't need to think about it at all. Then when I've got a boss fight going and I need to optimize like okay, when is max DPS and cooldowns burn? Okay, like this, I can like glance up and take that in. Oh shit, I'm in trouble. Boo, what do I have here to save my ass? These guys. So the last thing that I'll do is this is really not necessary for fights, so you could move it off to the side or somewhere else that's a low priority area down here maybe. But I'll just replicate what I've got going on here, and that is, do I have all my buffs going? Do I have a flask, my whatever, king, blessing of kings, wisdom, food, all that stuff, augmented runes. So let's do that. Now, let's see. We've got misc, we've got buffs. We're going to run out of space here. So there's going to be a lot of buffs, so I'd probably move this sort of special stuff over to page 5. Let's actually do that. Sorry, this is a bit of a long video. Let's see. I don't know what's a good term for this. Misc 2 for now. Okay, so let's just. Do I have food on this? Do I have any potions or anything? I have no consumables on this character. So that's going to make it a little hard. Hey, no, that's some other kind of flask. All right, so I'll just end the video there, but basically same procedure. I usually have food, flask, all this sort of stuff out of the way that you don't need during a fight over here. And then, click them, dupe the ability, look at the name of the thing, move it over here. That's basically it. So I should have some of that set up before the next video. Next, we're going to move on to potions, trinkets, stuff like that. And then animation and highlighting. All right, this is DJ. Thanks for watching. Bye.